In gratitude we offer this incense. Throughout space and time to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. May it be fragrance as earth herself, reflecting careful efforts, wholehearted awareness, and the fruit of understanding slowly ripening. May we and all beings be companions of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. May we awaken from forgetfulness and realize our true home. The one who bows and the one who is bowed to are both by nature empty. Therefore the communication between them is inexpressibly perfect. Our practice center is the net of Indra, reflecting all Buddhas everywhere. And with my person in front of each Buddha, I go with my whole life for refuge. Offering light in the 10 directions, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, to whom we bow in gratitude. Teaching and living the way of awareness in the very midst of suffering and confusion. Shakyamuni Buddha, the fully enlightened one, to whom we bow in gratitude. Mother of all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and all beings, nourishing, holding, and healing all. Bodhisattva Gaya, Great Mother Earth, precious jewels of the cosmos, to whom we bow in gratitude. Radiating light in all directions, source of life on earth. Mahavairojanatathagata, Great Father, Son, Buddha of infinite light and life, to whom we bow in gratitude. Showing the way fearlessly and compassionately, the streams of all our ancestral teachers, to whom we bow in gratitude. with the insight that brings us to the other shore. Suddenly discover that all of the five skandhas are equally empty, and with this realization he overcame all ill being. Listen, Shariputra, this body itself is emptiness, and emptiness itself is this body. This body is not other than emptiness, and emptiness is not other than this body. The same is true of feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness. Listen, Shariputra, all phenomena bear the mark of emptiness. Their true nature is the nature of no birth, no death, no being, no non-being, no defilement, no purity, no increasing, no decreasing. That is why in emptiness body, feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness are not separate self-entities. The 18 realms of phenomena, which are the 6 sense organs, 6 sense objects, and 6 consciousnesses, are also not separate self-entities. The swellings of interdependence, the rising and their extinction, are also not separate self-entities. Ill being, the causes of ill being, the end of ill being, the path inside attainment, are also not separate self-entities. Whoever can see this no longer needs anything to attain. Only sadhus who practice the insight that brings us to the other shores see no more obstacles in their mind, and because there are no more obstacles in their mind, they can overcome all fear, destroy all wrong perceptions, and realize perfect nirvana. All
dear respected Thầy and dear beloved community. If there is anyone who has not had the time to apply to receive the transmission of the 5 mindfulness trainings, but you would like to receive today's ceremony, you are invited. Please stand up, announce your name, and join the aspirant in the middle of the hall. Kính thưa đại chúng, sáng nay nếu như có ai muốn thọ giới mà chưa có dịp điền đơn thì có thể đứng lên nói tên mình và bước vào bên trong với các vị giới tử. Aspirant representative, please all stand up.
Namo Shakya Munaya Buddhaya. Dear respected teacher, dear noble Sangha, please listen to us with compassion. We would like to make a formal request.
Please touch the earth.
Namo Sakya Muni Buddhaya. Dear respected teacher, dear noble Sangha, we recognize that we are very fortunate to have met the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Thanks to the many good seeds sown in us by our blood ancestors and spiritual ancestors, we have been lucky enough to discover the path of mindfulness. This path helps helps us to practice the art of stopping and living deeply in the present moment, so we can nourish, transform, and heal ourselves, and bring joy to ourselves and others. We know that the 5 mindfulness trainings are a complete and beautiful expressions of this path. Today, with all our heart, we aspire to receive the 5 precious trainings from our spiritual ancestors and from you, the noble Sangha. We understand clearly that following this path, we will be in the company of bodhisattvas, and that every moment can be a moment of happiness. We humbly ask our dear spiritual ancestors and the noble Sangha to accept our request and to transmit to us the trainings.
Thầy and noble community very happy to accept your request. You are very fortunate to have discovered this beautiful path and to have the opportunity to commit yourselves to it. In order to be able to continue on the path, you will always need a Sangha. It is very important for you to join or to create a Sangha where you live, so you can realize your aspiration.
We thank you, dear respected teacher and dear noble Sangha, for accepting our request. We will follow our precious advice with all our heart.
Now please all rise. And touch the earth 2 times. Onini, now please have a seat. Sangha common procedure.
Has the entire community assembled?
Yes, the entire community has assembled.
Is there harmony in the community?
Yes, there is harmony.
Why has the community assembled today?
The community has assembled to perform the Sangha Common of transmitting the 5 mindfulness trainings.
Noble community, please listen. Today, 27th of January, the year 2022, has been chosen as the day to transmit the 5 mindfulness trainings. The community has assembled at the appointed time and is ready to transmit and receive the mindfulness trainings in an atmosphere of harmony. Thus, the transmission can proceed. Such is the proposal. Is the proposal clear and complete?
Clear and complete. Today, the community has gathered to give spiritual support to our friends who make the vow to practice the 5 mindfulness trainings. Will the entire community please enjoy your breathing and remain mindful when you hear the 3 sounds of the bell? The sound of the bell is the voice of the Buddha, bringing us back to our true selves. Ordini, now please stand up. On hearing the sound of the bell, after the recitation of each line, please touch the earth one time.
In gratitude to our Father and Mother who have brought us to life, we bow deeply before the 3 jewels in the 10 directions.
Giới tử mang ơn cha mẹ sinh thành, cúi đầu kinh lễ tam bảo thường trụ trong 10 phương.
Touch the earth.
In gratitude to our teachers who have shown us how to understand and love, we bow deeply before the 3 jewels in the 10 directions.
Giới tử mang ơn sư trưởng giáo huấn, cúi đầu kinh lễ tam bảo thường trụ trong 10 phương.
gratitude to our friends who give us guidance and support on the path. We bow deeply before the three jewels in the 10 directions.
Giới tử mang ơn bằng hữu và các bậc thiện tri thức đã tác thành cho. Cúi đầu kính lễ tam bảo thường trụ trong 10 phương.
Give gratitude to all beings in the animal, plant, and mineral worlds. We bow deeply before the three jewels in the 10 directions.
Giới tử mang ơn mọi loài chúng sanh, cây cỏ và đất đá. Cúi đầu kính lễ tam bảo thường trụ trong 10 phương.
Odini, please have a seat. Now is the time to transmit the 5 mindfulness trainings. The 5 mindfulness trainings represent the Buddhist vision for global spirituality and ethic. They are a concrete expression of the Buddha's teaching on the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path, the path of right understanding and true love, leading to healing, transformation, and happiness for ourselves and for the world. To practice the 5 mindfulness trainings is to cultivate the insight of interbeing, or right view, which can remove all discrimination, intolerance, anger, fear, and despair. If we live according to the 5 mindfulness trainings, we are already on the path of the Bodhisattva. Knowing we are on that path, we are not lost in confusion about our life in the present or in fears about the future. We will now recite the 5 mindfulness trainings. Listen carefully with a calm and clear mind. Say, yes, I do, every time you see you have the capacity to receive, learn, and practice the mindfulness training read. Odini, are you ready? The first mindfulness training, reverence for life.
Aware of the suffering caused by the destruction of life, I am committed to cultivating the insight of interbeing and compassion and learning ways to protect the lives of people, animals, plants, and our earth. I am determined not to kill, not to let others kill, and not to support any act of killing in the world, in my thinking, or in my way of life. Seeing that harmful actions arise from anger, fear, greed, and intolerance, which in turn come from dualistic and discriminative thinking, I will cultivate openness, non-discrimination, and non-attachment to views in order to transform violence, fanaticism, and dogmatism in myself and in the world.
This is the first of the 5 mindfulness trainings. Do you make commitment to receive, study, and practice it? Ordini, if you feel comfortable, you can join your palm. The second mindfulness training, true happiness.
Aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression, I am committed to practicing generosity in my thinking, speaking, and acting. I'm determined not to steal and not to possess anything that should belong to others. And I will share my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in need. I will practice looking deeply to see that the happiness and suffering of others are not separate from my own happiness and suffering. That true happiness is not possible without understanding and compassion, and that running after wealth, fame, power, and sensual pleasures can bring much suffering and despair. I'm aware that happiness depends on my mental attitude and not on external conditions. And I can live happily in the present moment simply by remembering that I already have more than enough conditions to be happy. I am committed to practicing right livelihood so that I can help reduce the suffering of living beings on earth and stop contributing to climate change.
This is the second of the 5 mindfulness trainings. Do you make commitment to receive, study, and practice it? The third mindfulness training, true love.
Aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I am committed to cultivating responsibility and learning ways to protect the safety and integrity of individuals, couples, families, and society. Knowing that sexual desire is not love, and that sexual activity motivated by craving always harms myself as well as others. I am determined not to engage in sexual relations without true love and a deep long-term commitment made known to my family and friends. I will do everything in my power to protect children from sexual abuse and to prevent couples and families from being broken by sexual misconduct. seeing that body and mind are in unison. I am committed to learning appropriate ways to take care of my sexual energy and cultivating loving kindness, compassion, joy, and inclusiveness, which are the four basic elements of true love, for my greater happiness and the greater happiness of others. Practicing true love, I know that I will continue beautifully in the future.
This is the third of the 5 mindfulness trainings. Do you make commitment to receive, study, and practice it? The fourth mindfulness training, loving speech and deep listening.
Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech and the inability to listen to others, I am committed to cultivating loving speech and compassionate listening in order to relieve suffering and promote reconciliation and peace in myself and among other people, ethnic and religious groups, and nations. Knowing that words can create happiness or suffering, I am committed to speaking truthfully, using words that inspire confidence, joy, and hope. When anger is manifesting in me, I'm determined not to speak. I will practice mindful breathing and walking in order to recognize my anger and look deeply into its roots, especially in my wrong perceptions and lack of understanding of the suffering in myself and in the other person. I will speak and listen in a way that can help myself and the other person to release suffering and see the way out of difficult situations. I am determined not to spread news that I do not know to be certain, and not to utter words that can cause division or discord. I will practice right diligence to nourish my capacity for understanding, love, joy, and inclusiveness, and gradually transform anger, violence, and fear that lie deep in my consciousness.
This is the fourth of the 5 mindfulness trainings. Do you make commitment to receive, study, and practice it? The fifth mindfulness training, nourishment and healing.
Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful consumption, I am committed to cultivating good health, both physical and mental, for myself, my family, and my society by practicing mindful eating, drinking, and consuming. I will practice looking deeply into my consumption of the 4 kinds of nutriments, namely edible foods, sense impressions, volition, and consciousness. I am determined not to gamble or to use alcohol, drugs, or any other products which contain toxins, such as certain websites, electronic games, TV programs, films, magazines, books, and conversations. I will practice coming back to the present moment, to be in touch with the refreshing, healing, and nourishing elements in me and around me. Not letting regrets and sorrow drag me back into the past, nor letting anxieties, fear, or craving pull me out of the present moment. I am determined not to try to cover up loneliness, anxiety, or other suffering by losing myself in consumption. I will contemplate interbeing and consume in the way that preserves peace, joy, and well-being in my body and consciousness, and in the collective body and consciousness of my family, my society, and the earth.
This is the fifth of the 5 mindfulness trainings. Do you make commitment to receive, study, and practice it? Audiences, you have received the 5 mindfulness trainings, which are the foundation of happiness in the family and in the society. They are a basic for the aspiration to help others. You should recite the training often, at least once a month, so that your understanding and practice of the 5 mindfulness trainings can grow deeper every day. A mindfulness trainings recitation ceremony can be organized in the practice center or at home with your friends. If you do not recite a training at least once in 3 months, you lose the transmission and today's ceremony will be nullified. Dear friends, as a student of Awakened One, you should be energetic in the practice in the way of the Buddha has taught to create peace and happiness for yourself and all pieces. Upon hearing the sound of the bell, please stand up and touch the earth deeply 3 times to show your gratitude to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Odini, please have a seat. Albert Brown. This is to certify that Albert Brown have received 5 of the 5 mindfulness trainings on the 27th, the day of January in the year 2022 in Blue Cliff Monastery with the Dharma name Deep Clarity of the Heart. After receiving the 5 mindfulness trainings, the practitioner understands that he or she should study and recite them regularly, if possible with a Sangha, so that the practice of the 5 mindfulness trainings will deeper day by day. If in the 3 months the practitioner have not recited the mindfulness training at least once, the transmission will no longer effective. Ordination teacher, Zen Master Trừng Quang Nhất Hạnh of the 42 generation of the Lam Tế Linh Dynasty School. Albert Brown. This is to certify that Trần Dung have received the 5 mindfulness training at Blue Cliff Monastery with Dharma name is Tâm Từ Hạnh. This is to certify that Nguyễn Hiện have received the 5 of the 5 mindfulness training with the Dharma name is Tâm Từ Phương, compassionate direction of the heart. This is to certify that Trần Nicholas have received 5 of the 5 mindfulness training with the Dharma name is Tâm Từ Giác, deep awakening of the heart. Piskaski Christopher received 4 of the 5 mindfulness training. Piskaski Christopher. Steve Mark, Style Mark. Dharma Mika is your own Dharma name, and this ceremony you have of the heart. Albert Jennifer. This is certified that Albert Jennifer with a Dharma name is Awakened Transformation of the Heart. Tough Nicholas. You are the renewed certify mindfulness training. Do Riley, this is certified that Do Riley, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not good at the name. What the Dharma name is deep contentment, happiness of the heart. Stone Timothy. This is certified that Stone Timothy to receive the 5 mindfulness training with the Dharma name, deep connection of the heart. P.T. Maxwell. This is certified that P.T. Maxwell have received 5 of the 5 mindfulness training with the Dharma name is peaceful dwelling of the heart. And for someone just joined this morning, please fill out the application form and give to me after breakfast. Thank you. And dear community, please join your palm. We will closing verse.
Transmitting the trainings, practicing the way of awareness, gives rise to benefits without limit. We vow to share the fruits with all beings. We vow to offer tribute to parents, teachers, friends, and numerous beings who give guidance and support along the path.
Congratulations, everyone.